started, thank you so much for coming to Poetry on Tap. I really appreciate that you guys come out here. If you guys don't know, I'm Em. I'm the one who runs all of these things and puts them together. Tonight I started thinking we should have maybe a little harvesty theme. The weather's almost getting cold again. It's not quite there yet, thank goodness. But just to kind of get in that mindset. But I'll open up with a poem by James B. Kennan called Reaping. Along the east, strange glories burn, and kindling lights leap higher and higher, as morning from her azure urn pours forth her golden fire. From rush and reed, from brush and brake, flow countless jeweled gossamers that glance and dazzle as they shake in every breeze that stirs. A bird, uprising from the grain, flutes loud and clear the raptured note that mingles with the blithe stain as her enthralled human throat. Amid the tasseled ranks of corn, she stands breast high, her arms are bare, and her round and warm brown neck mourn the gleams of her lustrous hair. The sickle flashes in her hand, the dew leaves both her naked feet. She reaps and sings, and through the land she sends her carol sweet. The wind breathes softly on her brow, to touch her lips tall blossoms seek, and the stricken columns bow, they kiss her glowing cheek. And with that, I would like to welcome up our next poet, Janet.
Well, I was, do I have to use, can I talk like this?
You can talk like that.
I was just about to put this in some sort of order, but that didn't happen, so here we go. Pages was the original title, and it got changed to Woo of Possibility. Morning is overflowing with gists and insinuations, soft grays, resonance. You must make sense of it. Listen to the invitations, like hidden rivers appearing in your inbox. Float on them, or ride them like the rungs of a fingerprint or the wings of a windmill. Go past the obvious, secrets that will attempt to fill your pockets, but welcome the one secret that knows more than you. And follow it to where there are no secrets. This is where believers go. Don't stop for the big splash of cool water on your knee. Inch toward the woo of what makes this possible. Don't let a pretty stone or its singing drown out the need you came for. They all hum their delicate harmonies, but don't turn away. Go deeper. This is the place for believers. Throw your heart open like a skylight. Yell it out. Black ink, white page. Exiled. Aren't we all trying to hear the faint eighth notes leaking from the grail? It is not much to wonder why all paths wander in circles and return again, again, and again. To walk beside us, behind us, with us, I am watching a full moon make her rounds, change her phases in and out until she becomes unusual. Who would argue with how worn the paths can get? And who would wonder why there is barely a tuft of grass left? And if green can still catch fire, let the flames begin. It's a deep, deep strive, then one soft hallelujah. Thank you. Okay, I always write a poem about writing a poem, so here's one. A poem. A poem of love, death, exasperation often begins another way. It hones in on a cool river, rubbing her smooth stones like a baby, or an old home that stands empty, and how it feels to walk out that door for the last time, or kiss at its threshold for the first. How the tuck of her left shoulder under his thick right arm is the perfect fit. In those winter winds that moan and make me change my mind, in the sun that leans low to touch the paper rose you made for me, cut from an old book we took to the beach. That is the way a poem about love comes into existence.
This next one is actually a tribute to the last poetry night that I was at that Em hosted. When was that, July?
Yeah, July.
June. Yeah, we made back since July.
Oh, that's right.
It's been a while. So, this is a special one. Solstice. Polaroid photos are some of the most beautiful forms of intimacy. And to know for a night we were all lovers, souls shared, connected. A solstice churched together in the warm dark of night in a back room. Laughter and raspberry gummy bears. At the corners of our lips, carnivals and bars couldn't rival this. The energy we created in the studio that night was God tier. With the art that we made in those moments under twinkling Christmas lights. Words strung together, sweet and sour as lemonade. It was a choose-your-own adventure, and we all chose each other. Most of us perfect strangers, but perfectly strange, perfectly wonderful, perfectly beautiful. And honestly, I love that for us, because slide. Now I know I've got some harvesty ones in here, I just gotta dig them up. This is kind of a Thanksgiving-ish one, but gratis. Giving thanks is more than falling leaves and crumb-dusted smiles. It's darkened screams and underwater breaths, gasping for a touch, begging to be seen, but shut out of the glitter amongst a cold, damp night. Clawing the way out, bloodied, from between the sharpened teeth of loneliness' thick wolf fur, grasped tight, white knuckles and cracked skin, twisting inside of a corn husk shell, seeking warmth and finding only snow-scented air. Naming the thankless dark for what it was, but unable to drive it back upstate from whence it came. Giving thanks is more than linen hugs and cranberry spoons. It's painting over ceramic eyes with buttered biscuit warmth, desperately alone, but bumped, jostled, pushed. Busy bodies flutter past amongst the stillness, rum-rimmed eyelids dry drowning in the hot oven air, floundering in a pool of blood alcohol deeper than the family rift. Subterranean ache, empty palms seeking thirsty knife, quiet red Indian corn kernels pitter-patter on hard linoleum, cold and unaccepting of pale moonlight feet, thudding on frost-bitten tundras just to burn with an icicle flame, prodding thanks from weary, drum-throbbing limbs, fully aware that we are alive. Thanksgiving isn't boss files and hot dishes. Two more. I'm really proud of this one. I wrote this next one the night before last poetry, or back in June. Before the last time I read. Yeah,
that night.
That's one of my favorites. Revelation. I have met God, and their hands were dirty. What I mean to say is there was dirt under their fingernails while repotting their vines, talking about fig trees, and how much work pruning takes, but how sometimes the root is rotten, and you have to propagate to save the plant. I have met God, and let me tell you, God knows how to roll a blunt. She tells me some of her darkest fears while we watch for shooting stars. She is nothing like the fanfics. She swears by her dead name that nothing is worse than people blaming their choices on her, as if she would ever give permission to harm another person in any of her pronouns. God and I went for a walk, and they painted out all of their favorite birds, the fun things that they were still learning about these creatures because, God told me in a whisper, the secret to omniscience is recognizing that not knowing is half of the fun. God holds their protest sign high, her skin the same color as the Sharpie on the cardboard, life, women, freedom, the only prayer on her lips. God and I attend her funeral. As the people who claim to have known him so well sob and wail God's passing, she turns to me in teary-eyed, righteous anger. Don't they know I'm right here? I am who I've always been. I never left. God cries on my shoulder after running the gauntlet at the clinic, asking, what makes her murderous act any more holy than mine when both were meant to save a life? I have met God, and we would never darken another church's door. Rather, we have lit bonfires in the sanctuary of old forests, told stories of ancient ghosts, holy and otherwise, danced together until our legs turned to jelly, our lips praising the glory of this crumbling earth. God greets all of their friends with a holy kiss, on both cheeks and sometimes on the mouth when they're a little too drunk. Water bottles on Sunday hikes at the beach tend to turn into Merlot if we're not watching too closely. God teaches me how to weave flower crowns, tells me how often they microdose before making a public appearance. So many people expect so much of me. Don't they know I'm fully human, too? I have met God, and the way she flipped the tables of religious protesters outside of Pride, her eyes red like hellfire, reminded me of her Old Testament days. She's in her gospel era, but old habits tend to resurrect sometimes. I have met God, and what I mean to say is, hello. It's truly nice to meet all.
Proceeded on his mission. Told the customer to hit the flow. They did it in an instant. Told the clerk to empty the drawer. He did it with no resistance. 200 was typical, but the situation was critical. He wanted all the money and needed it to wrap it up fast like mystical, or this visit will get physical. No doctors, but his health at stake. Plus, he won't hesitate to lay waste to him if he neglects to do what he say. Both of their hearts race as he points to the back and mentions the safe. He needs all the racks, or he gonna light up the place like a Christmas tree. Told him, gift the bands and no one leaves, or he'll take the booty like pirates and thieves or Hollywood actresses auditioning for Weinstein. Either way, this ship gonna sink, they bodies gonna stink, homies on the brink of capturing everything that he always dreamed. He turned to correct the customer, the clerk. Fed up with these thugs and hustlers, didn't think, just reacted on the means of stopping this lame and protecting his name. Plus he recognized the voice, so he knows this thug is all mufflers, good at blowing smoke. With the quickness, he dropped to the floor, grabbed the shotty, lifted up and let one go, boom! Buckshot from his gut to his throat. That shit happened in a flash. The thug's reason was apparent. It's certain he won't last. Thought his gun made him God. Now that his Titans gonna clash. It's expected when driving full speed in the dark, no headlights, you gonna crash. The fast life exhilaration is captivating, but you burn gas fast and it don't last. He knew that, but didn't think he would lose at the first bump in the road. See that shot he blowed and go flat. He hoped that he'd finally catch a break from a life that never gives but takes and wins the race by doing something rash. As he lies there on his back, and his final moments pass, he ponders his past that brought him back down this path. Always blaming others for mistakes, always giving up on being great. Could have been a success, but hates hard work and distress. Can't relate to those that are late, cause happiness seemed fake and couldn't be on the plate. The anger would degrade any chance at being great, so he accepted the fate of being reckless with hate, sizing up his prey to attack and make bank. As the glimmer in his eyes started dimming as he died, a blurry vision spotted a figure that heard the fuss and wanted to see. Then shots rang, bang, bang! The thug's last breath created more death. Now the clerk will feel his pain. When that blurry figure hit the floor, the life of his son was drained. This is a common case of karma, not failing to discriminate. If you act in hate, sorrow, and disdain, the reaction will all be the same or worse. So before decisions are made, think about what you could be throwing away. Rather it be a life marred by depression or a child never being able to be his father's succession. It's all sad in this futile way. Make what you do today and escape from your brutal ways, because the saddest thing to see is a line of actions making you the late, making him the great. Reaction. Woo. That's so great.
That was great.
I appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's always nice to see somebody come here for the first time and share their work. That's just always something that reminds me, you know, that's why I do this, and it's just so incredibly fulfilling that I never thought I would ever experience with any sort of hobby or career, and it's just insane. So I really have to thank you all again for coming out. And with that, one of my oldies but my goodies, one of the first people to ever get on board with me for these events is Billie. So please welcome them.
Hi. I feel like whenever I'm talking to a mic, my B and my P are like really loud. But I'm gonna try to. Hi, I'm Billie. I have 3 poems. The first one is probably like the closest I'll ever get to rapping.
Yes.
And I have them all memorized, which is unfortunate because I have to stare at all of you and make it really uncomfortable. I keep getting these hugs without ever asking. 1 minute I'm talking, then there's arms wrapping. I can't stand these people being so goddamn kind to me, so I get mad about things and pick and choose what they said. Like I don't know why I'm crying, I just know that I am. Why is it always the hard things getting stuck in my head? Like why'd you crack that joke and then change the subject? I just want to get a hug I didn't have to earn. I just want to find some love that's not going unheard. And I hate looking that sad in all my pictures and seeing the line between my eyes that's always in them. Because it's another reminder I can't stop the process, and another reminder it's not the family I wanted. But nobody told me some people aren't worth it. Nobody told me some people are just broken, and nobody told me that I'm included. I just want to go home, so why can't I leave? I just want to go home, so why can't I leave? I just want to go home, so why can't I leave? Yeah, I just have 2 more. Today I'm tired, and I'm thinking about dead babies. I'm thinking about dead babies in schools. Their small bodies a tomb, and their lips baby blue. 1 dead baby's enough, but it's less than a slew. But today I'm tired, and I'm thinking about dead babies in schools. And I'm thinking about the dead baby in my sister's womb. And God, isn't being born dead so cruel? And God, in my head I keep seeing dead babies on loop. And God, yesterday I bought my first pack of cigarettes, Camels like my mom when she smoked them back to back, and I promised myself I would never do that. And God, I can't play this music any louder. And God, intrusive thoughts make me so bitter. And God, in my head I need an answer. And God, is it better? Is it better? Is it better? I just have 1 more, and I read it last time, but I fucked up in the middle. You're moving your body and the skeleton inside to the door of the closet where you're desperately hiding. The full bones and lost souls of those you sold for a profit, washing the blood from your hands and the cash in your wallet. Ignore the sound of guns firing and the death of a child, while I send mine to school, and I try not to show it. That fear deep inside, I'll lose my whole ocean, my moon and my tide, and my drive for all motion. Terrified, one day I'll say goodbye without knowing she's not coming home, and my life is over. To call you all pigs would be so insulting to those beautiful souls we killed for no reason. I hope you hear this whole poem and you think that it's treason to die for my daughter, but not the Pledge of Allegiance. But I can't hold my hand over my chest and feel those same feelings, because I hope when you die, it's for no good reason. I hope your last breath feels like you're drowning. I hope that your lungs fill up with your violence, the river of blood you culled from our children and sadistic men with hearts full of vengeance. I hope it's worth it for you to trade a life for your conscience, blood money in your hands for the cost of a child's silence. Okay, thank you.
All right, next up I have some of my own. This is just a draft I'd like to share with you all called Corn Song. The falling autumn colors left ugly grayish trees. I couldn't see past your backyard even from the roof. You reached out, but I got startled, started tumbling, hit the pavement in old brown sneakers, just to end up back in my room. The gates to hell are hidden here, Midwestern island town. Is there anything more out there than ghosts in the cornfield? Tell me what you think about when they look at you. The billboard said hell is real, and I know it to be true. Just don't go beyond your white picket fence. It's only forever, not long at all. Well, smashed old jack-o'-lanterns are always left rotting in the street. Still, we had trouble egging every house. After we stole a beer each to share from our father's fridge, gonna be just like him one day. The gates to hell are hidden here in Western Island Town. Weeknights on lakefront beaches and lavender monsters under the moon. Sunday morning cried myself in deep repentance. Could have sworn I seen a zombie walking. I saw it in their eyes, they're dead already. Is this what you wanted for me? Well, love is the greatest drug that everyone has in God's name. The real scare was when you never came down because your face reminds me of David Gruber. There's no light in those eyes, is there? Is there anything more out there than ghosts in the cornfield? Thank you. Next, some more serious. People probably know I've been going through the loss of a pet. That's very hard, so allow me to grieve publicly here in front of you all right now. Thanks. In a pet cemetery named Dearly Loved, you rest in the soil, doing your favorite thing, lying in the sunshine all day, eagerly waiting for a bird to land or a chipmunk to scurry by. And one day soon you will sprout up again, a lily in the valley of death, to make your way around this earth again. I wish you could be here. I finally figured out who I am when you knew all along. Knew all my secrets, my middle school diary held so close, knew how desperately I needed a friend, but we both knew that we were loved. You're not gone, for you're embedded in the deepest center of my person. And when I too am finally dirt once again, you will fill the hole in my chest and I will be complete again. Because we are built atop the largest pile of corpses that we call Earth. Thanks.
You're gonna make me cry.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That is the best compliment. Please, if you enjoy anybody else's poetry, always say that. I always think it's so cool to see all of us connecting. But definitely to say that you made somebody cry is by far one of the best compliments here. If you come back next month, we're having another one, a Poetry on Tap on October 14th. It would mean the world to me if you would all show up. But there is going to be a screening of a short film for this song that is going to be coming out on that day along with the single. So I hope to see you all there. I think that you'll have fun. With that, I will introduce, thanks. With that, I will introduce Asmodeus. I'm sure I will see each and every one of you here. I have taken a list. Attendance will be taken. And with that, up next, I would like to present one of my best friends, Miss Seraph.
So this first song fits the harvest theme, and it's part of my album that's coming out called Yellow Briar. I'm a sucker for Victorian flower meanings. There will be a quiz at the end of the song. You need to remember every single meaning. No, it's not that serious. Sweet Yellow Briar is a Victorian flower that you give to someone if you have decrease in love. Basil means I hate you. Ferns mean love, and willow means sorrow, because, you know, we're all angsty emo teens here. So, here. Let's see how good this sounds with this awkward position.
It's all my fault.
It's not your fault.
Laura's a bit of a prodigy. It's really hard being friends with her when she's so good at everything. But speaking of being great at things, there's somebody who's going to come up next who really values sharing music with others, and I really appreciate that. Before I started doing this, I wasn't really, looking to share my stuff other than, to keep a business and sell my art. But I have really learned the value of presenting all of these things to you and just doing it with other people who are creative as well. I never envisioned myself doing music with other people either until I met Bobby here. And we started playing together. You can catch him at South Shore Park most days, although weather's kind of getting cold again, so you're going to get one of the last scenes you'll ever see of him. Hopefully not. Probably not.
No, I'll be here.
You'll be here. You'll be here. But if you're ever in the area, keep an eye out for a funny-looking rock and a guy dressed in all rainbow sitting on it. So please welcome the Lonesome Troubadour.
This is a piece of poetry that I wrote recently. It's on a new album called Sad Breakup Songs, which is very melodramatic, I'll say the least. They're meant to be played in the background of indie films. That's there's like soundtrack numbers. So let's set it up here. I don't know where to go in this life of mine, or blue to show, to make this light shine. She was here for a minute, then she had to leave. I don't know where to go, or who I should believe. Only laughter clouds my point of view. I don't know where to go, or what I should do. Her picture sits upon my shelf. I can hear her voice like the ocean in the shell. She meant all the world to me, and now we're apart. What a tragedy. Oh, oh, and now I'm left all alone. No one to talk to, no one to give me hope. She was perfect, and now she is gone, and I'm left with a broken heart and this song. I don't know what to think. It all just went away. I don't know who to talk to or what I should say. She's all I think about all the time. She's the only thing I see when I close my eyes. Next song is a song off my first record, Love, Sex, and Depression, that was requested. It's about fall, it's about the life cycle, and also doing drugs. It's a fun song. It's a lot less depressing.
Go stream on Spotify, Love, Sex, and Depression.
And we all fall down, just like the leaves fall to the ground. And we all fall down, just like the leaves fall to the ground. Some days I feel the warmth of the sun. It embraces me like a mother's love. Other days I start to feel low. Other days I start to feel the cold. We all fall down. We all fall down. Wow.
You have as many as you want.
Maybe
Not as many.
I'll do a couple more. This genre of music, I don't like to wear out my welcome. I like to do like tiny desk little sets. I don't know, is anyone familiar with the work of Daniel Johnston? He's an artist I like to share with people a lot in the park. This is a Daniel Johnston song. I kind of made my own. He plays it on piano. I adapted it for guitar. It's called Your Picture. Also very melancholy and dramatic, but that's Daniel Johnston style.